January.
Oh, hi there. Great to see you again. Do you want to go fishing? Okay, this way. So the way January went, after a bad start on the rivers due to excessive flood water, I was quite pleasantly compensated by finding this new pond, which was the subject of the last video, which seems to have been a pretty consistent producer of roach. I'm hoping one or two quality size ones. I haven't had any big ones yet, but it's work in progress, and it does seem to be quite a prolific little fishery that at the moment nobody else seems to be bothering with. And it fishes well in winter, which is quite a bonus. So as the month progressed, the rain was changed for a very cold spell, and we had quite severe frosts at night again for maybe 5-6 days, and the still waters started to freeze over. Now at the same time the rivers started to drop to a more fishable level, but obviously very cold. And I tried going back to the Grayling fishing again on the upper reaches of the River Aire initially, which is not far from where my daughter lives, so I have a season ticket up there on quite a well-known club water, which I won't mention just yet. And I had some interesting but very frustrating sport. Biggest problem seemed to be running into out of season brown trout with the trotted worm. I did get into a half decent grayling on the fly, which didn't stick. It was off, and I've only had a couple of small ones on the trotted worm. In fact that was in December, not January, so it doesn't really count as part of the January report. And what I found was I was plagued by brown trout, one absolutely huge one, which you'll see just under this railway bridge. It's filmed off the phone, so it's not the best footage, it's quite a distance away, but you can see that enormous crash under the bridge as a trout of, I don't know, 3-4 maybe more pounds leapt into the air as soon as I hooked it and crashed back in, never to be seen again. So it's certainly going to be worth trying this place with a streamer lure once the trout season opens a little bit later.
It's a trout, that's why. It's a trout. Okay folks, out of season, so there's not going to be any photo here. I'm just going to gently unhook it. Finally. Oh, that water's cold.
But that's the River Aire, limestone stream, very clear, some big grayling and some very big brown trout, but a very difficult river. Really struggled with the grayling, like I say. Even back in October I had a lot of frustrations with the fly fishing. I did manage to get onto the Ribble on the famous Church Deep section as the level started to fine off a bit, and I had some good sport with small fish, silvers, roach, dace and small chub, but the big chub seemed to be largely absent. Not quite sure why that is, but there don't seem to be quite as many as there used to be. Having said that, other anglers are running into them. Maybe it's the float fishing that's maybe not too effective in the deep winter conditions. Beautiful roach. In the meantime, I did get into a new club at the new year, and I've started tentatively to try some of their waters out. Again on the Ribble, but not the free stretch at Preston. It's a little bit higher up the valley. And I must admit, it's an absolutely glorious bit of fishing from first impressions. I've been up there a couple of times, and I seem to have found quite a prolific grayling run, which I've not figured out how to tackle it with a deep nymph in the winter with the fly tackle, but I've had some good sport trotting maggots and worms there. So that's going to be interesting to see how that develops. You can see a little bit of a sneak preview of how I went on in this issue, but it's going to be the subject of another video, maybe after I've had another trip there and work things out a little bit better. One interesting thing I did find the other day was I caught a salmon smolt about 7 inches long, which is quite an unusual capture for January. The salmon par don't normally turn to smolts until April and May, and you see quite large numbers of them drifting downstream. Well, not the numbers that they used to do, because the salmon have declined considerably, but again, a very unusual capture in midwinter. So it looks like a question of good old River Ribble once again. So that's January for you. Not a bad month as it goes.
What a fight! Oh, we got him! Yeah, absolute belter.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed that video. There's a great bit of fishing really just towards the end of the month. and I hope I can keep that up through February. So far we've got settled conditions forecasts, which bodes well for the grayling fishing. If we do have a lot of heavy water and floods, I might switch to chub and roach again. And obviously I've got to try and fit in some predator sessions as well. So I'm going to be a busy boy this next coming month. If you've enjoyed the content and you want to see more of the channel, please consider subscribing. It's totally free. I know from my demographics, I know there's a lot of old people watch this, and the first thing they think, if they don't know better, subscription means parting with money. Well, in this case it doesn't. It's totally free. And if you could also give us a few comments, that would be great. A bit of feedback on the what you think about the channel. Fantastic. Okay, and take care, tight lines, and I'll see you next time.